So this is something interesting I came across. So this is this is Wicked Bastard, one of the newer accounts I followed since joining Twitter earlier this year, and they are mentioning, or they actually quote tweeted a tweet from originally from Jordan Chariton, where it shows that so his tweet says, let me show you this tweet. He says that Nina Turner is going to be running for Congress again in 2022. Not shocking. I don't think anybody is surprised by that. The issue that a lot of left wingers and leftists have with that is that Nina Turner has essentially become co-opted by the Democratic Party, and she's not even part of the Democratic Party as a member of Congress yet. She's already been co-opted by them. She's already been co-opted by the so-called progressives, because she just joined TYT, which I used to be an intern I used to be a part-time intern for a few months in the summer many years ago, and yeah, so I know all about how shitty TYT is, let alone regardless of my time there as an intern. But she has decided, just recently, was it like a week ago or week and a half ago or something like that, decided to join as a guest hosting shows and being a guest on some of their fucking panel type shows and shit. So and then she was basically signed on as a contributor to TYT, and she's obviously going to do that to rise, to get her name up there, to get her name, more, I don't know, I guess more relevant to progressives. Not that we don't already know. I mean, I'm not saying she should go work for CNN or anything. I'm just saying that it's just like you're just going into an echo chamber of like progressives, basically. Now, that doesn't mean, again, that you should go CNN, but at least if you go to CNN, you're going to be taking on a bunch of people who are going to be arguing against the policies that you support, and then you could go on there and say, hey, listen, we need Medicare for all, we need free college, we need a living wage, all the things that Bernie Sanders has always advocated for. Many progressive leftists have been advocating for, still advocating for. She could have easily done that, but whatever. But just going into that echo chamber of like, oh well, yeah, those things are all great, and also the leftist radicals that are not fans of TYT are terrible, basically. Oh, we shouldn't be too radical, and we shouldn't attack the squad. We shouldn't call out AOC. We shouldn't do all these mean things to AOC because she's such a victim. That's, by the way, that's another thing that AOC did. She portrayed herself as a victim in her little like response after she did her present vote on the Iron Dome bill, Iron Dome funding. I'm not gonna read it to you guys, but it was like bunch of fucking drivel, and she just basically portrayed herself as the victim, like, oh, I'm getting death threats and stuff because of my because of, I don't know, my no vote or my present vote or whatever it is, or my vote of, she's pretending as if she's like in danger of something. She did the same exact thing when it came to that January 6th insurrection that happened, so-called insurrection that happened. She said, oh, I almost got murdered, and then I don't know, she even responded like Ted Cruz on Twitter, who said something, and then said something about like, oh, I agree with AOC on something, or we should push this legislation or something. And then she said, no, I'm not going to work with anything on you, even though they're in different chambers, but I'm not going to work with anything on you because you almost had me murdered or something. And that's not to apologize for her or, fucking simp for Ted Cruz. He's a fucking prick. But I'm just saying in general, it's just gaslighting to pretend as if you're a victim for no reason. Now, I don't know if she honestly was almost murdered during the insurrection. Apparently, she claims, oh, I was in the Capitol building, when in reality she was in another building or something. I don't know. So people are saying that. I don't know what the actual reality is, but apparently that is what people are saying happened. So I don't know. But either way, she's just constantly portraying herself as a victim, and I just don't have any time to deal with that. I don't have any time to be on her side for something like that. It's just fucking annoying. But anyway, sorry. Again, sidetracking here. But it looks like Nina Turner is going to be running again in 22. Definitely not surprising. Sorry, one second. And then Jordan Sheraton has another one. She's a follow-up tweet. He says, in defeat, Chantal Brown, who had $3 million in super PAC money, flood in before an election Turner won. 5 of Cleveland's 9 black majority wards. So she won. Won 5 of Cleveland's 9 black majority wards. lost 4 black Cleveland wards by under 2 points, won the city of Cleveland and black majority city of Akron. Got crushed in wealthy white suburbs. Yeah. No, that's true. That is what happened, in my opinion. So a lot of the leftists on, that I'm associated with, they want to say like, well, she lost because she didn't attend the Medicare for All rally. I believe there's a Medicare for All rally right before her election. I don't think that was the reason she lost. I don't, it's very clear and obvious from the evidence that I've seen that she lost because she was up against a lot of big money, and she raised a lot of money too, but she was up against a lot of big money, a lot of neoliberal corporatist money, and like the thing he says here, got crushed in wealthy white suburbs, and that's very true. I forgot what that suburb area in Ohio was, in kind of that Cleveland-ish area was, but that apparently is what happened based on the what do they call it, like the exit polling and stuff. So. But regardless of all that, I think she should have still attended the rallies, the Medicare for All rally, because, and this was a point that Socialist MMA made. That's Nick Cruz, who's a great account. He's part of the Fred Hampton Leftists podcast, and he made a point on Jimmy Dore's show, which a lot of like the pro Nina Turner, pro progressive types, pro TYT types said was like, oh well, that doesn't count because. He was saying that because she didn't attend the Medicare for All rally and didn't kind of acknowledge what they were doing, and so people are attacking Nick Cruz for saying like that's bullshit and doesn't make any sense, and mocking him like I don't know, how can you say something like that, and he was on Jimmy Dore's show, so they were going after him and Jimmy Dore, and that's actually something that Anna Kasparian of TY2 also retweeted and mocked or whatever. Called Jimmy Dore like baby brain or whatever, and to to an extent I agree that, again, I don't think it's true that she lost because she didn't attend the Medicare for All rally or didn't acknowledge the people that are pro Medicare for All and doing all that stuff, all that activist type work. But when it comes to acknowledging those people, acknowledging the people that host podcasts, that are progressives, that are fighting for the same things that Nina Turner is fighting for, if not stronger, because like I said, she's become very co-opted by the Democratic Party, and that's because she's in a district that is very pro-Obama, very pro-Democrat and all that stuff, very deep blue. Not very independent, but very deep blue. And the reason why they're saying that is because the activists and the podcast hosts and all the independent-minded people from the left wing of the Democratic, or not Democratic, but the left wing, is they are going to come out and bat for you much more if you're going to, acknowledge them. So they're going to acknowledge you if you're going to acknowledge them, and in this sense, acknowledge you in a positive way instead of a negative way. So leading up to the election, a lot of people were like, yeah, it would be good if Nina Turner won. But a lot of people were always like, yeah, fuck you, because you're not acknowledging our presence. You're just pretending to be, you're just trying to suck up to the Democratic Party and to the, the vote blue no matter who types, who she always called out, by the way. Nina Turner always called out those vote blue no matter who types, for sure. And she called all those people out, but she all of a sudden, she decided, she made a calculation. She made a political calculation, and she decided that I should actually probably suck up to the type, to the vote blue no matter who types, because otherwise they're not going to vote for me. Well, what happened? They ended up not voting for you anyway. Now, my point regarding from before is that if you do acknowledge the activists and independent podcast host types, you're going to get them on your side more, and maybe those people are going to be able to convince other people to vote for you. So maybe they'll convince a couple of Republicans to vote for you. Maybe they'll convince a couple of those vote blue no matter who types to vote for you. Who knows? You really never know. Or maybe even convince their own leftists to vote for you, right? So if somebody like her acknowledges she's somebody her like running for office, convinces these activist types to acknowledges these activist types, they are going to want to go out there and convince other fellow independent leftist activist types or podcasts or whatever, podcast hosts or whatever, to go and vote for her too. And it's going to create like this domino effect of everybody wanting to go and support this person that is, in my opinion, does have very left-wing progressive, I'm saying real progressive roots. And she does, because we've seen it before. But now, she's just catering to the Democratic Party because she knows she has to. And like I said, it's a strong, blue part of Ohio, and they all voted for Obama. They all voted for Hillary, all voted for Biden, all that stuff. Hillary in 2016, Obama when he was president and also ran for re-election, and then also voted for Biden this time around. So, and those people, yeah, I get it. I mean, I understand you have to suck up to those people, but at the same time, you can't only do that. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. You can do multiple things at the same time. You don't have to just do one or the other. So that's what pissed me off. That's what pissed off a lot of other leftists too. So if she would just acknowledge the existence of those activists and of those leftist independent type people, she would have gotten us to, and I'm one of those people, she would have gotten us to go to bat for her much more. But what are the people that hate us and then love Nina Turner and love TYT and love the Squad and love AOC and all that stuff too? They say, oh no, fuck you, who cares? We don't need you anyway. We don't need you anyway. you guys are idiots because you think that she should have attended a Medicare for All rally. Like, how could you be against that? That's just crazy. And that doesn't mean that if she doesn't attend the rally, she's against Medicare for All. But at least go to it's not going to kill you to go to the rally. I don't know. Release a statement about the rally. Release a tweet about the rally. A video or something. But she didn't even do that because what is she doing? She's catering to the vote blue no matter who. She's voting to the hardcore blue Democrat types. And, you lost. That's what you ended up. You sucked up these people and you still ended up losing. So what happened? Is a lot of that because of the super PAC money as Jordan Chariton mentioned? Yeah, I'm not saying that's not, but that's not the only thing though. There's a lot of factors out there that are involved. So people want to ignore that because they don't want to give any credence, any credit to the leftist activists out there who are I don't know, pissing off the even the progressive so-called Democrats out there. Yeah, well, that's what if you're triggered by that, then listen, that's your problem, bro. I don't know. We're just speaking out. We're not just going to be in lockstep with the progressives just because they're the furthest left thing we got out there. That's not the way it works. So anyway, this so Wicked Bastard, he retweeted this tweet from somebody that pointed out that she's running as a Democrat. Which, and Jordan Chariton responded to this by saying that the let me show this tweet. So this says, hold on. So this shows that it says it says Jordan tweeting that the MPP, which is the Movement for a People's Party, they and the Green Party are not on the ballot in Ohio. It's either run as a Democrat in the primary or skip the primary and run as independent in the general election, which is Ohio 11th. The damn primary is essentially the general, because whoever wins the damn primary. General wins general election landslide. So because it's heavily blue, but yeah, and that's fine. I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, I would respect Nina Turner more if she would run as if she would run based on her morals, not her morals, run based on her principles, not based on like, oh, whatever is gonna appeal to the Democrats that are gonna eventually vote for me in a whatever primary or whatever it is, or in the general and stuff. Anybody can say do that, but it's like that's obviously the easy way out, and that's why they do it, and that's the whole reason why Justice Democrats and stuff existed. Well, at least now we can see why it existed, because they ended up just, kowtowing to the Democratic Party. But at the end of the day, or in the beginning, I think the Justice Democrats were out there to try and truly take over the party, but they obviously did not do that. And now they're just Democrats. Instead of Justice Democrats, they're just Democrats, or just us Democrats. So yeah. But yeah, and that's I'm not disagreeing with Jordan Chariton here, but at the same time, if you would just stick to your principles and just run as an independent, I would have a lot more respect for you, even if you lost. She ended up losing anyway. Now, yeah, she got a lot closer than she would as she were independent, but I don't trust the Democratic Party. I don't trust look what the Democratic Party has done to the Squad. They're a shell of themselves. They're a shell of whatever, I guess, that they used to be something. They're a shell of their former selves, and it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything anymore to this, up to this point. Now it's just like, oh, who gives a fuck, the, Justice Democrats, whatever squad. It's just, they're all a bunch of, they're a bunch of pussies. They have no backbone, and it's just annoying to see. I can't stand it. And then, so I'm sorry, I keep deviating from Wicked Bastard's tweet here, but he says, so after the person points out that he's running, that Nina's going to run for the Democrat under the Democratic Party label, the party affiliation, he says, but she had, she had to run as a Democrat in the special election. Okay, but how about now? So referring to the future, to the future party. And Nina Turner was somebody that was actually accused by the Vote Blue No Matter Who, loyalist Democrats, that she's going to run as the Green Party one day. She would love to run as the Green Party. She would love to run with Jill Stein, who I voted for in 2016. She would love to run with Jill Stein. She would love to run with Jill Stein in 2020 or something, whatever it is. In 2016, 2016, just to get back at Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton is a former. So she had Nina Turner as a former surrogate. So Nina Turner switched over to support Bernie Sanders in 2016. So she, people were accusing Nina of she's totally going to try and get back at Hillary Clinton. That never happened. I'm not even surprised that it never happened. I wish it did, but that never fucking happened. So people were, the Vote Blue No Matter Who loyalists, Dem loyalists types were, coming up with that bullshit. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, Nina Turner has really become co-opted by the Democratic Party. I think she's going to be the same exact thing she was before. It's going to be the same shit. In fact, if anything, the fact that she's announcing her run or sooner, or at least, the fact that she, put her name in. What is it? Yeah, filed to run. I'm sorry. So the fact that she filed to run just gives her more time to integrate with herself within the Democratic Party and try to make friends within the Democratic Party. That doesn't mean she's going to completely abandon the more progressive types that, maybe we're more aligned with, although we can't stand them, but the leftists are more aligned with. But that still doesn't really, that still honestly doesn't really mean anything. So it's still a fucked up situation at the end of the day, because she's still going to be co-opted by the Democrats anyway.